Hi guys, what's going on and welcome back to Manor Lords. So, we have done quite a lot over the past sort of 5 years or so in this game. I think this is our 5th winter. 4th or 5th, I can't quite remember. But I thought we'd have a little bit of a recap of where we are, what our goals are and what we are kind of trying to achieve over the next couple of years in game. So, I mean, I'm honestly really quite pleased with our sort of capital city. It's developed quite well, the population is now over 150, we've got a good number of families, and things generally seem pretty sustainable. I think the main concerns we have here is, what do we make this region sort of targeted into? And if we continue to grow this population, what else kind of do we need to do? So I mean, the food levels have been pretty sustainable, we're making enough bread. And actually we've still got quite a bit of grain and flour, and so we're going to get quite a bit more bread over the year, and we're into January already. So, to be honest, in that sense, I'm not too worried. I think the problem is, how do we increase our food variety, and how do we do things like our ale? Because, like, as example, you can see, we've got a real ale shortage going on, and it's not been that long since the barley harvest, so we really need to increase our barley output. And that really is going to be my emphasis for this region. We want to get this region into a proper farming region now. We want to increase food output. We want to increase ale output significantly. So with that in mind, last time we built these 2 barley fields up here, which we're going to try and plant in spring. We are going to try and perhaps upgrade this one to a plough. My previous sort of playing around with this plough, really, I kind of felt it wasn't all that productive. I found it kind of slow. But someone did suggest that the first person should come out with the plough, do the ploughing, and then you'll find that the people behind follow and then sow. So maybe that does make it a slightly more efficient way of doing it. So anyway, we'll have a go. We'll stick a ploughing station on there and we'll give it an animal, and then we'll kind of give it a little bit of a whirl. I think I've got a spare stable somewhere. Yeah, so let's just order another ox while it's there, and we can get that coming in. So that's that side, and we also have quite a lot of staff on at this farmhouse down here, and we do have a few spare families, and I've got like 2 people on sheep farms and various other little bits and bobs. So I think we'll also build another farm either up here in the north or sort of around here, but I think we'll go up here. But first, before I do, I just want to build another row of houses. Might be getting a little bit carried away here in terms of the amount of houses that we're doing, but I think it's better to kind of overdo it than underdo it. Let's just get a little random and weaving road in there. And then we'll get in our farmhouse under farming tab. Farmhouse. Where's the farmhouse? Oh, there it is. Can you squeeze in there? Can you? No, not quite where I want you anyway. Let's get you in there then. And then if we want, well, none of these are amazing barley field locations, but at least it's good wheat as well, so when we go on crop rotation, we're going to do a series of sort of relatively smaller fields. Because I think sometimes these larger fields, they're great, but they take obviously a really long time to plough. Can we just get you to neatly go around the corner like that? And then I wonder if we try and just squeeze one. Might perhaps be a little bit on the larger side. How tightly in can we get that like that? So we've got these sort of series of fields going around this farmhouse here as well. And we'll probably set these to barley as well. That one's quite good on wheat, isn't it? Well, that one's very good on wheat. We'll have this one barley, and then we'll do this one to wheat. So again, same thing. I'm going to try and set this one to a plough, give it a ploughing animal, and then we'll try and just get a few people to go and sow it as well. And hopefully we can at least just get a crop in spring. It's not going to be an amazing crop cycle, but hopefully it should be enough. And then in time, when we run out, we can also fill this area in here with houses as well. So it's going to make, we're getting quite a large settlement here now. Honestly, really quite pleased with it. So that's our capital at Iconau. So what about Walbrand? What are we doing here? Honestly, I'm actually also pretty pleased with how this is going, considering we only started this settlement, not that long ago, a year or so in game time. So we've obviously got established, and we've got the iron working going, and obviously we are now producing helmets, which is nice. And the helmets are slowly, and honestly pretty slowly, feeding their way back to the capital and getting equipped to the army. So that's nice, but we're obviously going to have a reasonable surplus here. Once we've sort of done enough of these helmets, and once it gets up to maybe 100 or something like that, I'll then switch the armourer's shop over and we'll start producing mail. But elsewise, really, the main focus is going to be getting the next level of development here, which means we still need to get these tier 3 plots. The shoes that we've been importing have actually been working. They're not fulfilling the demand on all of these. There's obviously not quite enough of them, but it is actually filtering through and providing enough shoe demand, at least on some of the tier 2 plots. So I think we need to think about what else do we need to do? Well, we need to get this church upgraded. And so to do that, we need clay tiles and we need stone. We have actually got a clay pit now doing some extraction. We haven't actually got anyone... what does clay get put into? Oh, here, into crafting materials. We haven't got anyone actually crafting that yet into tiles, and I think, to be honest, I'll just wait until they extract a bit more first. But we are going to need someone to go on this stone mine soon. And I've noticed that actually the planks are currently quite in excess. So I'm going to whip this person off the saw pit and stick them now over on the stonecutters camp. And I suppose, since we're here, we might as well get the spare person building the clay furnace. So at least then when it comes to it, we can actually can get this converted quite quickly. Oh, we don't have enough goods. What are we short on? We don't have enough... We don't actually have enough stone to build the clay furnace. Okay. Well, good job we just assigned someone to the stonecutters camp there. I've had to go and upgrade the storehouse now in Waldbrand because we ran out of room for producing too many helmets. I'm also going to set up a little trading post here as well. Try and bump up our regional wealth a little bit here. We've got absolutely loads of money over in Iconau. 2,700 regional wealth, but that's pretty much all come from this trading post, so it's well worth setting up. We've also been getting these farmhouses set up with the plough stores added. So now we can permanently assign a livestock, which is essentially an oxen in this case, which is why I kept importing them into the main village. So that means we should at least have someone to operate the plough and then someone to sow behind them. We'll probably end up needing a few more staff than that to do it. Actually, someone else has just moved in, so to be fair, I might just throw them on there. Then we'll have 1 plough and 2 sowers, and we'll distribute a few people from the main farmhouse here as well. Elsewise, just waiting for this plough to be constructed over here, but again, same thing. I'll end up adding a couple of people onto this farmhouse and hopefully trying to distribute these fields over a little bit of a larger area rather than just having a few fields at the bottom of the village. We also want to think about this little row of extra houses I got built. I don't think there's actually anyone currently living in them, but we could do some interesting extensions. And to be honest, I'm just thinking about these apple orchards. I've heard that they can be relatively productive, even though they take quite a long while to grow. But in the long term, I think this actually could be quite a good idea. So I'm just going to do all 4 of these up to apple orchards. We've got the money to do it, so why not? Even though actually there isn't currently anyone actually living in any of these houses. Slightly interesting, I'd forgotten that we could actually build a charcoal kiln over here as well. Let's just make sure this trading post gets built first. Because we hadn't researched this in my capital, this is a new building. But I think apparently it increases wood burning efficiency. But I suppose you actually have to use the firewood to create the charcoal. So to some extent it doesn't actually really free anyone up for us, but it kind of is what it is. So we can set up a trade route to sell some of these helmets. So I'm going to do that. Let's set up a trade route. We can then export helmets. We'll keep a desired surplus of, what, 50 maybe? That's kind of plenty. And anything above that then should be sold off and hopefully raise the regional wealth a little bit of this region. Hey, so springtime has arrived. Perfect. So we need to do many things. So we've got pretty much all our farms hopefully set up. So these are hopefully now going to kick into action. We've got basically at least 3 people on each farm. And other than this middle one, which doesn't have the plough set up because it's just not worth it for this one field, then we should hopefully all kick into action. And at least these 2 should hopefully help each other. Let's see if that actually ends up happening, because they should be planting here soon. Yeah, ploughing by hand. So hopefully they're going to go and plough this flax field here. Over here, we should, I mean, I'm hoping they're going to plough by hand. Are they... Oh, is it because I've assigned this a high priority field? A medium. No real reason why they should be taking some of these fields as priorities that I can think of. These are all medium priority. Some of them are coming this way and some of them are scattering off to plough fields in the distant realms, which I don't quite understand why. But at least the ploughs come out on this field, so that's something. I'll take it. Anyway, over here in Walbrand, we also need to do a bit of farming. So I'm going to have to strip a few people out. Let's just strip some off. Yeah, sorry. Off the charcoal, off the clay furnace. Let's get you two people on there, because I want to get these wheat fields in. Let's get you off the mining pit as well, actually. Let's get you on. Well, since I'm not building anything, let's just get that people on as well. Because I just want to get some wheat fields down, just so there is at least a little bit of a food supply here in Walbrand, because I don't want to have to try and import everything over my canal. So, I mean, I'm pleased at least everything is... Why has he got a sheep following him? What? What? Okay, well, at least Ditz the ox is doing work by Heinz and his fellow sheep. But the point of this was that the ploughing is all ongoing. So yeah, that's all good. I've actually kind of changed my mind about the efficiency of these ploughs. Watching it doing it actually seems to be reasonably quick, doesn't it? Once it's got a whole field to itself and it can just go back and forth. I'm actually kind of pleased how well it's working. I mean, maybe it's just the sheep effect, but it does actually seem to be doing a pretty decent job. Have we got that flax field in? Oh, and seeded. Good job. Good job. I'm actually really pleased. This field's obviously fallow. These we planted in autumn last year, so these are actually going to be quite productive crops. But I'm actually genuinely really pleased about how well this stuff is going in. That's really good. That's really good. So that's another whole barley field sown. It looks like we're going to basically get all this in March, which is really good. I'm really pleased with. A little bit more sowing still to be done here and there. It actually looks like the bulk of the ploughing has been finished off. So it's just turned into April, and we're actually just finishing off the last field. They seem to have some slightly checkerboard style ploughing on this one, but anyway, I'll take it. Honestly, really pleased. Gone brilliantly. Well, the clay furnace has been working well, and we now actually have enough to upgrade this small stone church. So let's get that gun going. Ooh, so a new region is being claimed. Okay. I'm slightly tempted to contest this. It could be a hell of a battle, couldn't it? Do we have enough money to hire in mercenaries? Oh, there are no mercenaries to hire. That's not ideal. So if we're going to give this a shot, then we need to at least try and raise another unit of spear militia. Don't quite have enough people for it, but hey ho. It's annoying that there is no mercenaries available at the moment. There's always been mercenaries available, which I never really wanted to hire, and now all of a sudden there's not, which is a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, my helmets don't really go all that far, but hey ho. I think let's just give this a go. Okay, enemies declared. So the battlefield location then is actually classed as being over. Oh, we're really like right maybe in front of us. So we need to summon out the army, definitely. Okay, let's get everyone summoned out then. Here comes all the militia, everyone's coming out. Okay, so all that's ongoing. Let's just form these people up. So we've got 2 spear militia, an archer militia, and like a handful of retinue. Oh, we've got some helmets. We've got some actual little kettle helms and things in the units now. So we'll definitely toggle walking mode. And let's get the army over to my next units. What have these guys got? So they've got mercenaries. Mercenary light infantry. 3 units of mercenary light infantry. Looks like... Oh, God. And a little bit more. Some brigands. Is that a full stack of retinue? Okay, I'm not entirely sure that this was a good idea. Is there any mercenaries yet? Please, please, sir. Yeah, they do seem to have quite a lot. So I've kind of formed up on this hilltop here. I'm not sure this is going to go amazingly well, if I'm honest. The enemy archers are going to probably be in range here soon. Okay, our archers are off. Oh God, this is quite a nerving thing. Just a bit of a skirmishing going on. No casualties on either side really yet. But we're using quite a lot of fatigue in our archer militia just shooting at them. Oh, we killed one! We killed a person! We've got a lot more to kill yet. Killed a few of their enemy archers, actually, to be fair, in the forest, which is good. It depends if they're going to commit to this fight with a full infantry charge out front or not. And how much fatigue my poor archers have got left in them before they're absolutely completely knackered. Keeping pressure on. It seems to be just a duel for now. I can't imagine their effectiveness is quite diminished by the fact they're in the forest. They're not necessarily playing this particularly well. Although it looks like here they're now going to start to come out of the forest and advance. Let's move the spears forwards to cover this unit here. Try and take up this fight, and then we'll have to stick the retinue in the centre. Quickly now, quickly now. Let's get in on the flanks. And then let's try and redeploy the archers on the flanks so we can fight a little bit better. Wow, this is such a melee here in the middle. Right, let's finish off these archers in the open. Okay, that's one enemy unit dealt with. Let's try and flank around, see if we can get our archers to shoot in the back. Oh, brigands behind, brigands behind, brigands behind. Archers, archers, loose. Quickly, 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 quickly. Try and get to the volley off, try and get to the volley off. Okay, now it's going to be hand to hand. I don't know if these archers have much in the way of melee weaponry. What's going on with the spear walls? There's a little bit of an intense fight. We have managed to flank them slightly on the outskirts, which could be good for us. But they have got a hell of a lot of these light mercenary infantry in the centre. The spear militia kind of holding up. So at this point, I really wish that we had slightly more. God, our archers are absolutely knackered. And they haven't got any sidearms, that's the problem. The militia is holding up relatively well, though. Our effectiveness is vastly superior to theirs. They've got fatigue, they're surrounded. That's surrounded. Because we managed to get on the flanks, look, we've actually really diminished their overall effectiveness. And I think we might actually win this fight against these brigands here as well. We are taking some casualties. We are going to be a bit short on families by the time we get home if we win this fight. Come on, keep the pressure on. What is their overall morale looking like? Still decent, if slightly falling. Slightly tempted to put them on push forwards here soon. Now let's get the archers back round the back. Too fatigued to even run. Okay, good job. I'm going to put these guys on push forwards. Now let's try and break them. Let's push into this gap. Come on, archers, form up, and then we can get the archers to start shooting them in the back. Yes, good job, archers. Volley! We've got them hemmed in nicely now. I'm pretty confident we're going to win this. Our flag is flying. Oh, that flag animation is fantastic. We've got our absolutely knackered archers shooting him from behind. They are starting to lose enough ground. But down to their retinue is actually losing ground as well. We have taken quite a few casualties though. That poor spin of our units of spear militia is absolutely knackered. How close are they to the breaking? They're breaking. There they go. Victory! Woohoo! Okay. Do we actually get the region? Oh, we do. I actually end up with it. Nice. I had no intention of capturing this region in any way, but there we go. What a fun fight that was. So, apparently, a good militia does beat the mercenaries in the end, particularly when you can sort of envelop them a little bit as well. Nice. That panned out really nice. Our poor little archer militia is absolutely knackered. And then finally, even the poor little knackered archers have made it back home, and we should be able to disband them. So yeah, we definitely lost a few families, and that was a little bit painful, but we will recover. And as we continue, hopefully, to start to get better equipment filtering through from our other regions, we should eventually be able to get chainmail and stuff like that, and that will make quite a big difference, I think. So, all the farms are obviously now growing. We obviously have this whole new region, which we should probably really be dealing with, but I don't know if I'm really ready to start to establish another city quite yet. Doesn't really have anything massively in it that I want either. Hey, there goes our small stone church, Albert and Walbrand. So really, what are we actually short on? Just the tavern and a little bit of food variety as well. I could do with getting a little bit more regional wealth in this region. I said at the trading post, but I haven't got a spare person to run it at the moment. Perhaps nick the person off the clay furnace and stick them temporarily on the trading post. We don't really need that many more clay tiles immediately. We've actually almost finished our clay deposit here as well. Honestly, the population has recovered super quickly at Iconau. Everyone's basically just come straight back in and really refilled the existing jobs, which is something that's really nice. I was kind of worried that it might basically unassign people when they got killed, but it seems like it actually keeps the family assignment, and then as new families are moved back in, it's just auto-reassign them to the same jobs they had before. So we're basically up, back up to 163, so we're basically back up to where we were within a month of the battle. So the actual long-term impact really is kind of small. And I know there's maybe for an argument for always trying to hire mercenaries, not that there's still any available to hire, but it kind of a little bit to me kind of defeats the point. Half the fun of this game is trying to equip and build up these little armies, and just using gold to buy mercenaries all the time. I don't know, kind of feels a little bit like cheating. There we go, that's the end of our clay availability. So we could just at least unassign that family now. So with the battle now over, our harvest is well underway. And you may be thinking, but Evo, have you not just skipped forward a handful of months? And you would indeed be correct, because I forgot to press the record button. Yep, good job Evo. Anyway, that being aside, we are getting the harvest in now. It is taking quite a bit longer. There's actually a pretty vast amount of stuff to be harvested. I've kind of slightly overdone it. But the various workers are going around basically cleaning up all the fields. And when you can track the various people at the different sites and sort of, but they're having to then transport the stuff back and forth between the different sort of farmhouses. But we are starting to get it in. The barley harvest is looking pretty good. Unfortunately, this rain is causing us to lose some crops which are out in the field, but it's just not really possible to get them out of the fields and into the farmhouses quick enough to really do anything about that. So it kind of just is what it is. But then after this, we're going to finish getting this harvested, and then really we've got a hell of a lot of ploughing and sowing to try and get in before winter comes. But anyway, I think we'll end the video there, otherwise this thing is going to drag on forever. But hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.